What's up, y'all? My name is Ian Edwards, and welcome to the Soccer Comic Rant. This podcast is on all things comedy. And I should have brought up an all things comedy tab so I could list off. Boom. It's on the front line. All right, my glasses are working, so I can. If you click on a link of some of them, and then. Yeah, you're welcome for the great intro. If you go to All Things Comedy, there are some great comics with their own podcasts at the website. There's The Dollop. That's pretty popular. There's some guy named Bill Burr. He's pretty popular, one of the best comics in the world. Danish and O'Neill, they got theirs. Again, The Dollop. Listen, there's a bunch there. Just go there. It's not just my podcast. That's about soccer. There's can't remember her name right now, so this is bad. So let's just skip that thought. I can't see that one. Tinfoil, Sam Tripoli. Yeah, there you go. And just go to All Things Comedy. Trust me, there's a bunch of really dope, fun podcasts there with some of your favorite comics. And yeah, go there and check it out. Sponsor for the podcast is onthevolleyapparel.com, and you go there, use my promo code Comic Rant, and you get 20% off. And they have women's and men's hoodies, tee, tank tops, yeah, and they will lace you. And you go there, you can get the Wu-Tang joint. You could get the Tribe Called Quest joint, and that's the Wu-Tang joint. It's a Wu-Tang symbol with a soccer field on it. Pretty creative. You'll be the only one in your hood rocking that. And there's a Tribe Called Quest one. There's a OTVA. That's a takeoff of the Drake joint. So they've just combined hip hop with soccer and made some dope shirts and shit. There's the NASA one. If you fuck with NASA and soccer, perfect. You know what I mean? You can show how well-rounded you are. Like, you are a well-rounded scientific soccer thug. You know what I'm saying? A hooligan with a brain. So do that. And just, let's go through. Use my promo code Comic Rant at onthevolleyapparel.com. I like that burgundy one right there. That's pretty dope. I've never really drawn that much attention to it, but I like it. Yeah. So, yeah, get that. That's pretty nice. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm going to ask him if I can get that one. Yeah. So go to onthevolleyapparel.com and lace yourself. And this podcast is available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Libsyn, Stitcher, and you can watch it at YouTube at Ian Edwards or Ian Edwards, Ian Soccer Comic Rant Edwards. You can put either way, it'll work. Just type my name in. And my guest is a comic from England. He's been in town for the last 2 weeks, I guess. So this is
still hanging around.
Still hanging around. Immigration has not found him yet. He's still here.
Just hiding out from Brexit.
Just hiding out from Brexit. Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, we're pretty much Brexit in here too. It's the same thing.
This is like Brexit with sun, though.
Yeah. Brexit with sun. Yeah. I don't know how many homeless people your Brexit got, but we got them out here.
Yeah, we're probably going to get more now.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
As the economy crumbles.
How is the economy?
It's holding on.
It's holding on.
Just about, but it's...
Football's doing great.
Yeah, football's always good.
Yeah. I think in England, people would rather be homeless than not have football. They'd rather pay for football in some capacity than not have it and have a roof over their head. Like, people are really dedicated on a Catholicist level back in the medieval times when people were really into church to soccer, I feel like.
Yeah, the opiate of the masses in the UK, for sure.
Yeah. It's like people base their holidays around it. And I'm going on holiday, but to see my soccer team play, so, yeah. Let me get this off my screen. So Lee Hudson, that's the official. What's up, fam? So how's it going?
Yeah, all good.
You good?
Enjoying this California lifestyle for a few more days before I head back.
And you were staying in Los Feliz.
Yep.
Was that Los Feliz or where was that?
I was near the UCB on Franklin.
UCB on Franklin.
And the Gelsons.
Yeah, so the Franklin Village. Yeah, and then now you're now you're in on the west side.
Yeah, over in Venice.
In Venice, what part of Venice?
Just off Abbot Kinney.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, the nice part of Venice.
The nice part. How much did that run you?
Nice, not too bad.
It does. That's hilarious. That's cool.
Pound hasn't completely nosedived yet, so I'm good.
Yeah. Pre-Brexit effect. Still worth something. All right, that's
just
cool.
about.
And you're a Southampton fan. I just want to cover
for
that.
My sins.
How did you get into being a Southampton fan?
I'm from Hampshire, which is the county where Southampton are from, and like all the kids in my school, like, cause I was born in the 80s, but grew up in the 90s, and everyone in my school was like United fans, because that's when United were just dominating. Handful of Chelsea and Arsenal and Spurs fans, because we're not that far from London.
Right.
But Hampshire's a county where Southampton's from, and at my school we had like a new pavilion, like sports pavilion open, and Matt Le Tissier, a Southampton legend, came and opened it and did like a sort of football class with the kids. And
conned you into it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And it wasn't weird for people in Hampshire to be United fans.
Oh yeah, really common.
Really common.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's a joke that like most of the counties in the south of England and London are just like when United are playing, there's just buses going up from all these counties to Old Trafford.
Yeah. It just still like just the fan base of some of these teams just blows me away. From like some of them are huge and they're from all over England, but then some of these clubs are like where would their time, like in America, there's in American football, I'm gonna throw the producer Aaron Brungardt. What up, Aaron? Everybody say what's up to Aaron.
What's up, guys?
What's up? How many football teams are there in the NFL?
I believe there's 30.
30, right?
Maybe 32.
32. 30. And sometimes aren't those games empty, like they're blacked out because not enough people come?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in San Diego, and the Chargers were always on the verge of being blacked out,
right?
From local TV. They're thinking, you'll go to the game if you can't watch it on TV. It's like, no, I won't.
No, yeah.
But usually at the very last second, like a company would come in, buy all the tickets, and give them to kids or whatever.
Right.
So it was on TV quite a bit.
So and they do that in England a little bit, do they, or no at all?
Not in the Premier League. They don't really need to. Lower down, yeah.
Lower down.
Clubs will give tickets out to schools and things.
So it's just that. So with 30 teams in such a huge country, way more than England. Like I think, what's a state that's the size of England in America? Like,
I mean, California's bigger.
California's like several times bigger than England. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's mad.
And then England, like the team, like on what level, like will just have a stadium that's packed, and it might not be a stadium the size of Man U Stadium or Liverpool, but still, it's just like it's like each team just has so many fans.
Yeah, and it's insane that you got like the Premier League, which is obviously professional.
Right.
You got Championship, League One, League Two, which are all professional.
Right.
And then even the fifth division. The National League is, I think, like 90% of the teams in it are fully professional now. So it's like 5 professional divisions, each with like 20-something teams in them on a tiny island.
And on an island, and they have fans that come out and, it's bananas. And San Diego couldn't.
There's a lot of other stuff to do. But in baseball, I mean, it's been so bad, like, Montreal lost its team. And became the Washington Nationals, who just won the World Series. But Minnesota is always kind of, at least before when they had their old stadium, was always like, will they be around next year?
Right.
And luckily they still are.
Where was I? I was Cincinnati. I went to see a Cincinnati Red game, and we scalped the tickets. And when we got to the gate, they didn't even check to see if they were real. They was like, if you want to go to a game, you should just go. We're not going to doubt you. If you want to do that to yourself, go do it to yourself. We're not going to stop you. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's like you mentioned, what team was that? The Montreal
Expos.
Like, so that's two countries sharing a team basically, and they don't have enough fans between two huge countries to like fill that stadium up to the point where I say, all right, you got to lose your team.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. But in England, like our teams ain't shutting down like that.
No, I mean there's occasionally some unfortunate examples like Bury this year, who were in, I think they just got promoted from League 2 to League 1, but it wasn't because of lack of fans, it was
bad money management.
Just financially irresponsible owners.
Right. But Bury,
dude,
the team is named after a dude, and it existed for how long? Over 100 years, probably.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah,
they're an old club. Yeah.
So, fine. So that's how you became a Southampton fan.
Yep, and it wasn't much fun in the 90s. We were in a relegation battle pretty much every season.
The 90s. What about now?
Oh no, we had a brief upturn around the 2000s, but yeah, we're back in it now. But when I was a kid, it was sort of every year was us avoiding relegation. Just.
Have y'all ever been relegated?
Yeah. We went all the way down to League 1. I followed us to some really horrible away trips, and then we came back up through the leagues.
Why do you do this to yourself? Like,
I don't know.
Why not just be like, hey man, let me get another team? It's just,
you enjoy the highs a bit more when they're rare.
Yeah. How do you know? You've never been on a team that's always high.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. You have no idea how good it feels.
Well, one good example was we got to the FA Cup final in 2003. We played Arsenal. This was when the finals were over in Cardiff because they were still rebuilding Wembley.
All right.
And this is when Arsenal had like Henry, Pires, Bergkamp. They were amazing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to this FA Cup final and we lost, which we expected to against them. But after the game, their fans weren't even celebrating. They were just like, another one. Whereas our fans, it was like a huge day out.
Right.
The support was incredible.
You celebrated more with the loss.
Yeah.
Than the Arsenal fans celebrated.
Yeah, we were happy. It was just a shrug of the shoulders from them, like, another one.
Yeah, another one.
Those fans would give anything for that now, probably, those days.
Yeah. I'm sure they won't appreciate it. They won't learn. Arsenal fans, yeah. Jesus Christ. And there was something else I wanted to ask you, but I'll get to. It's something about, so we're going to talk about, only 3 games happened this weekend. This is the winter break. What do you think of the winter break in soccer?
I think it's good. I mean, other countries have done it and it's worked for them. Like in Germany, they do it. They shut down for a little bit longer there. Here it was
4 weeks.
It was meant to be just like a 2-week thing here, with the fixtures split over 2 weeks, which is a novel way of doing it. But I think it's good. Hopefully, it means we can freshen players up a little bit. But I mean, teams are still training the whole time. They're going away to Dubai or Spain and getting some warm weather training in. So I don't know how rested the players will be, but I suppose it's worth a try. So
that's another question I want to ask you, because you've seen some things. So what is a typical training week for a Premier League team after? So you play a game on Sunday, Saturday, wherever. Yeah,
it's normally a day off immediately after, although some teams, the first session back's always recovery.
So what does that entail? What does recovery entail?
It's basically just rehab kind of stuff in terms of muscles and stuff. It will be either light work in the gym or some sort of like, some teams do cryotherapy, all sorts of stuff. Players who played limited minutes, like players who only came on for 10 minutes, they might join in with a full session. It'll be the reserves and players who haven't played. So that's normally the start of the week. It's either the day after the game, if that's how the club operates, or they'll give everyone a day off and then they'll come in after that.
Right.
And then it's normally building towards the next game. So teams will have studied the video.
Who studies the video?
Oh, teams have got the Premier League clubs now have got like whole analysis departments. It's mad.
So it's already broken down for the players to watch the video?
Yeah, and managers will choose how much info they give to the players and how much focus they're putting on their game and how much focus they're putting on the opposition game. Training will normally later on in the week involve an 11v11 practice match where the reserve team or
mimics the other team,
tries to play as the other team, which is, I think it's good, but it's a bit strange if you're You know, I mean, if you're
not as good enough to make your team, but you got to pretend you're this other team, which might be better than your team.
Yeah, like if you're
that
Norwich,
you can't get on.
Yeah. If you're Norwich or Watford and you're playing Man City and you're asking your reserves to be Man City in training, it's not quite the same. You can get a feel for structure and style of play and stuff, just maybe not the quality.
Right.
But
and you're like, in practice, man, I think I can beat Raheem Sterling. I can run by him. And then you get on the field and the real Raheem Sterling shows up. And you're like, God damn, this Raheem Sterling's better. The real one's better.
Yeah, he's better than that kid in the reserves.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, teams will do that. They'll have strength and conditioning going on during the week as well. Mainly working on like speed and core strength and stuff like that.
Right.
Teams will work on set pieces, obviously, which they've analysed as well. Yeah, it's interesting. I've been to sessions in all different countries as well.
Right.
Been able to spend some time with teams across Europe.
Give me an example of some of what other teams in other countries do and how is it different?
It's just a focus on certain elements. Like in England, I think it's because of how diverse the sort of range of coaches and players are now. It's not quite as old school as it used to be, focusing on physical and stuff like that. So I think there's not too much difference now between how English teams train and how other teams train.
Right.
Like I've been to some clubs in Spain before, Belgium, and there's not too many differences really.
Right.
In Spain, though, as you'd expect, it's all very technical oriented. They're looking at a lot of like high tempo ball work constantly.
I think we need more of that.
Yeah.
If not just in the Premiership at Man U. You know what I mean? And what do you think Solskjaer's doing? Or what do you think he's not doing that he should be doing? Like with that team? Or is he getting the most out of the team and not getting credit for it? Because on paper, that team couldn't start on, a lot of those starters on our team couldn't start on other teams.
Yeah, it's hard to tell really, because like I say, we mentioned it last week where like you'll have a couple of games where you play well and people think like, it's going the right direction. Then you'll
not me. Not at all. I don't go for that.
Then you have a couple of games where it goes back downhill again. You're like, oh, okay, does he know what he's doing?
You know where we're at? We're at in the table. You know where we're at?
I don't know. Like
right where I said we will be at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
I said we're a mid-table team. You know what I'm saying? And we're doing a little bit better than that. That's where we're at.
Let's see where you're at the end of the season.
Yeah, we're going to be where we should be. Yeah. And, is there anything else interesting you could tell me about just training? You know? Which country you felt had the best program?
Spain, for sure.
And why? Because of the technical stuff?
Yeah, just the attitude of
the
players. Like because I've seen like first team training in Spain from like La Liga teams, and I've seen academy football there as well. And yeah, it's not. They're not very soft with the players. The players want to win from like the youngest ages.
Right.
There's no participation trophies out there.
Oh, okay.
Like they're.
So England has participation trophies.
A little bit, yeah.
Style coaching.
Yeah. But I think it's about finding a balance, because you don't want, just some crazy idiots like hell bent on a team of 7-year-olds winning, or they'll get
why not
fed or anything.
Why not? You win, you eat. You lose, you don't eat.
Yeah. But no, in Spain, like I said, they're very there's just that competitive edge to it. There's an intensity to everything, and like kids there are even learning like game management. We call it game management, like little bits of, not like cheat, or maybe a little bit of cheating,
That's
but
cheating.
But like kids, like really young kids, like time wasting and diving and slowing games down.
I wonder if they teach that. They teach that on the pitch. That's not just something you have to watch games as a kid and pick up. If they have a whole hour dedicated to that. All right, we're gonna waste time. You tie your shoelaces.
Yeah.
You roll around on the floor and fake hurt. What else is time management stuff?
I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. You see people like taking throw-ins slowly.
Yeah.
Goalkeepers won't go for a ball that's gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah.
I was at a game recently, just before I came over here. I was at a championship game. I was at Brentford, Nottingham Forest. And the Nottingham Forest goalkeeper got booked for time wasting after like 25 minutes.
Damn.
He was putting on a clinic in time wasting. But, like, the ball would go out one side for a goal kick, and one of the Brentford players would run and get the ball and put it on the edge of the 6-yard box, and he would walk over, pick it up, and slowly walk it over to the other side of the 6-yard box for the goal kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite funny. I mean, I used to do that when I played as well. It was always it's the sort of thing where, like, if someone does it to your team, it's really frustrating and you get really angry. But
if
you're winning, it's really fun to do it.
Right.
And just you see people lose their minds.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen fans that would hate it, like love it, and vice versa when it's against them.
Yeah. Oh, everyone's a hypocrite when it comes to time wasting and game management, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's definitely a double standard.
Oh, massive.
Yeah. When it comes to that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want to ask you about that. But I do want to ask you something about, because I was watching you ever watch the evening supplement?
Sunday supplement.
Sunday supplement. Is that a good show in England? Not really, right?
Sometimes it can be. Depends who they have on it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some journalists who are a little bit...
They really sap the fun out of the game. You know, they're sitting around. They have food on the table that they're not eating, but they set it up like it's just a meetup chat.
Yeah.
Organic meetup chat, and we're eating, but nobody's touching the stuff on the table.
It's probably all plastic.
It
Plastic croissants or something.
Yeah, exactly. And it just, the ladies, the way the host was holding up the paper, you could tell that you have to hold it up like this so we could see that the whole article. Yeah. And then it's this, they don't have their own headlines. They just grab them like straight from so what do you think about this? It's like you couldn't like write up your own thing. And but something that they did bring up was like Eddie Howe. Mm-hmm. And Eddie Howe's team lost this week. Yeah. Right? So they lost this week.
They're in trouble.
He's the coach of Bournemouth. They're in trouble. Well, he's gotten them into and out of trouble before. And I know you want them to be in real trouble, so you could be safer.
I wasn't sad when I saw them lose this weekend.
Right. And so he won two in a row and then lost this one. Mm-hmm. And then, but they say he runs, what size? So you've been to different size clubs, like stadiums. Yeah. Like how many, and I'm going to kind of expect you to know this off the top of your head, but just like say Man City's stadium compared to like Bournemouth Stadium. Mm-hmm. Is Bournemouth Stadium like a small?
It's tiny, yeah. It's tiny. I think it's the smallest in the league.
Yeah, because you know what? I forgot. Every time I watch this, I said, this pitch is small. The pitch looks small. Yeah. Like the pitch is as small as they probably would possibly allow in the Premier League. I don't think there's whatever the dimensions are for the size of a Premier League field. Yeah. I think theirs is the limit.
Yeah, there's not much space on the sides, but the crowd are really close to the field there.
I've seen a player hit a camera when he went back for a throw-in in Bournemouth. Yeah,
but like they're, I mean, obviously Howe's been there when they've come from League Two all the way up to the Premier League, and all they did was before their stadium used to only be 3 sides, and then they built the 4th side, but yeah, it's still tiny.
It's still tiny,
but yeah, it could be a nice stadium in the Championship next season.
Oh damn, Jesus Christ! And I guess it's the question. The guys were talking about Eddie Howe, and they say he does everything there. Yeah. And when they say everything, what does it mean?
They mean like he runs every session. There's an interesting video on YouTube where in pre-season they mic'd him up for a session, so you can hear everything he's saying to the players. Right. And it's not really filtered much. They're not really trying to hold much back. Like it's actually pretty interesting to watch. But yeah, he does. Like he's at the forefront of all the training, because at some clubs the managers won't do the training. They'll just observe it, or they'll be sat up in their office, and the assistants and the other coaches will run the session. The manager will tell them what he wants out of the session. Right. But they won't do it. Whereas, yeah.
And what they'll do, just report back to him?
Yeah, or he'll watch the video back, or the manager will be there but just observing, not in the middle of it, able to just sort of distance a bit from it.
I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
But I heard Eddie Howe is also like buying players, and like I think he might do all of it.
Yeah,
like
I don't think they have a director of football there or anything. Right. But he's been there for so long, and when they were in League Two, he was there when they almost went out of business. Right. So he's used to doing everything kind of thing. I don't know if that's maybe he probably should have some help, but he's used to doing it like that. He might be a bit of a control freak or something and doesn't want to.
I feel like he needs some help.
It. Yeah.
I feel like if he survives this season, he should get some help for next season.
Yeah.
So that he could give more in less amount of time. You know what I mean? Like you could see it.
Yeah, he's spread a bit too thin, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Bournemouth because of him, the size of the stadium, what they've achieved since they've come up. But yeah, 16th is not great.
Yeah, the magic's wearing off a little bit.
Yeah, it is. And the only way, just bring in somebody else to yell at them. just for that, you know what I mean?
Well, that was one of the reasons why they said Ferguson lasted so long at Man United, because every 2 or 3 years he would change his assistant manager. Yeah. Because Ferguson didn't do any coaching. It was always the assistant, but he had, I think, like when you won the treble, it was Steve McLaren. Before that, he had Brian Kidd, who has also been at City now. Then for a while there was Carlos Queiroz, who ended up being Real Madrid manager, and I think he manages Iran now.
Queiroz sucked it every way he was the head coach, because I mean, he might have coached in the MLS too, I think.
I can't remember, yeah.
But like as a head coach, I don't think Queiroz was good. But he was apparently a really good assistant, really good coach.
Some people are
good assistants.
Roy Keane hated him though.
Oh yeah, why?
There's some stuff in his book about it, but he just says he was boring, he didn't like him, and they clashed. It was just a personality clash.
Oh yeah.
But then, I think after him, Ferguson had Mike Phelan in, who's now Solskjaer's assistant as well. So he did that to sort of freshen it up, and the players had a different voice every few seasons on the training ground, which is smart. Yeah,
it's good to have a different person doing an impersonation of you. Yeah. every few seasons, so people, So he's running. So Ferguson, what did Ferguson do then? Just a pep talk?
Yeah, or just man management.
And what about tactics?
Oh, he decided it. It's just other people putting it into practice for him and translating it into training sessions.
If you're a player, would you want your coach on the field or up in the office?
I'd want them on the field personally.
Yeah, me too.
If it was me, but I think that's it is a little bit of an old school thing as well, because apparently, like Roy Hodgson's like that as well.
What, on the field?
No, not on the field.
He's not?
Yeah. So I don't know if that's a bit of an old British thing, maybe, because a lot of the continental managers are very involved. Like Hassan Hüttl takes all the sessions at Southampton. Pochettino did when
Hassan
he was
Hüttl looks like he plays the ball sometimes.
Yeah.
He plays the role of the football.
Yeah,
he's wearing a tracksuit. I feel like any manager who's wearing a tracksuit, like to the games.
Yeah, they haven't fully let go of their playing career yet.
Yeah, and they are like on the train, like,
Yeah.
Pep just started wearing kind of street clothes.
Yeah.
And
he's trying to do his thing, isn't he? He's trying to sort of, I don't know, almost be like a brand and a different kind of person.
Right. I feel like when our Klopp does it, he dresses for the games like he's in the training sessions.
Yeah, he's got a full tracksuit on, the baseball cap and everything. Yeah.
You don't know what he's got on today. He might have a whole Liverpool kit ready to roll. But I'd rather my coach be down there on the field with me.
Yeah.
So Bournemouth loses to Sheffield United.
Yeah, no shame in that. They were 1-0 up though.
Yeah, they were 1-0 up. And I guess let me go to this thing, this league standing thing. Because look where Sheffield United is, right?
It's crazy for a first season.
And there's been some really good first seasons. Like,
Wolves when they came up were pretty strong.
Bournemouth when they came up.
Yeah.
I think Burnley had a good first season when they came up. But I don't think anybody's ever been this good this far into the season.
The crazy thing is, like, when Wolves came up and had a good season in their first year, they'd spent a lot of money. Whereas,
they spent a lot of money the year before they came up, it wasn't like a brand. They didn't do the Fulham thing, where Fulham bought a brand new team.
No,
and nobody,
like Wolves were buying players from like Porto who were playing in the Champions League when they were in the Championship,
and those are Premiership moves.
Yeah. When they were already like they signed Thiago Neves, who was one of the best young players in Europe when they were still in the Championship, which was crazy. But because of their link up with Jorge Mendes, the agent, that's how they did that. But Sheffield United have kept most of their team together from the Championship. They've only bought a couple of players.
Right.
But I think there's something to be said for continuity as well. I mean, like you said, with Fulham are a good example. They just spent a whole bunch of money on like 10 new players and it never quite gelled.
Yeah. They got a great opportunity for it to gel in the Championship right now. so I hope they enjoy that. But they're doing good in the Championship. Is it Scott Parker in it? Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking like they could come back up.
Yeah, they might come back up. So I guess, and you've seen Sheffield play.
Mm-hmm.
They're not playing for a point.
No. They're
kind of going for it.
Yeah. They've got a nice balance of sort of attack and defence. Like, they're very solid. They're very. I think they've, other than Liverpool, they've kept the most clean sheets this season. But they're also an attacking threat as well. They score goals. But they've got a very different style of play as well in terms of the tactics and the system. Because they play a back three or three centre-backs, wing-backs, 3 midfield and 2 up front. But the outside centre-backs of that back three overlap the wing-backs.
The centre-backs overlap the wing-backs?
Yeah.
So they play a back three.
Yeah.
And the centre-backs. So
one on a certain side. They won't both go at the same time.
Oh, okay.
But like if a centre-back plays the ball to the wing-back, they'll go on the overlap, which is...
Is that so they can play out the back with more men?
It just means it's harder to track and harder for the opposition to deal with because it's not a common pattern of play that you see most teams do.
So it's just like a kind of a confusion thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
But I think it'd be interesting to see if they still do it next year or whether teams figure them out next year.
Right. Or they just switch the odd man to somewhere else in the field.
Yeah, that's it. They might mix it up and find another way of doing it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, a lot of credit to Chris Wilder. He spent his whole career in the lower divisions. He's never been a Premier League manager before, and he's not looked out of place. It's crazy.
So it sounds like he's a guy who was old school English style and then started to evolve and adapt at a later age in life. Like an old dog said, fuck it, I'm going to learn some new tricks.
Yeah.
And it's worked for him.
Yeah, because before that, I mean, he was manager of like Northampton and Oxford and just clubs that were fairly, mediocre in the lower divisions.
Right.
But I think he did a good job at Northampton. But yeah, Sheffield United, he's done a real job.
Yeah, and he's got them 5th. And that's where we're talking about, like Champions Leagues, not Europa League spots. Like,
yeah.
So I was happy Man U didn't play this week because I was like, well, shit, we can't lose, right? But now we've lost ground. We're in 8th, and then we play Chelsea again. I think we've beat Chelsea twice this year already, or twice this season at least.
Yeah.
But maybe 3 times, but twice because we beat them in a I think it was either FA Cup or League Cup game.
Yeah.
And then we beat them the first game of the season. So the odds of us beating them again now, that's
who knows?
That's diminished.
Chelsea are a weird team at the moment. They're another one who will look great some games, and other games the inexperience has showed a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's weirder for me when I see Chelsea not win a game, and it shows you what football is like. Like Chelsea on paper, they don't have. To me, it's easy to fix Chelsea. Like another year of experience with those same players, and maybe add another scoring option, and Chelsea should be challenging for, well, maybe more scoring than another two legit scoring options, right? Which, who knows where you're going to get those from? But I just don't. But just needing that means a lot in the Premiership.
Yeah,
it brings you back to the pack, like more than in my head I would think it would until you see them play and you're like, oh, you need that shit.
Yeah, like
just like Man City. It's like it's the same team from last year minus Company, and Laporte gets injured, and it turns them into such a normal side.
Yeah,
that Leicester's only 2 points behind them.
Yeah, I still find it mad that they're 22 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah, it's like if you lose, if you have a thing going, like when you so it's pretty amazing. Like Man City, like if Pep wanted to fix Man City, what would he have to do?
Buy centre backs.
and then, I mean, when you get a good centre back or two, you have them for a while. But if you buy some, it takes at least a season to see if these are shitty center backs.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have to get some more, and then it's gonna take another season to be like, some more shitty center backs. So it's so important, and it could cost you so many points in games.
Yeah, and you look at like the difference Van Dijk made to Liverpool.
Right.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot of different factors that make them a good team.
Yeah, I don't want to give Van Dijk all that credit like everybody else does, because the left back, the right back, Gomez, what's the other guy that they're it's in and out sometimes for them? Matip, like definitely improved.
Yeah,
and they bought the keeper.
But he, in my opinion, is the best centre back in the world.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of anybody better.
Yeah. He's just got that mix. So like, he's a absolute monster physically, but he's quick and he can play as well. Like he's all round just the best.
Right.
In my opinion. I mean, they can thank us for that.
Southampton. Yeah. Was he that good on your team, on Southampton?
He's gone to another level now. But I think that comes with playing with better players, playing in the Champions League and things like that. I mean, he was really good for us.
Right.
But like he was good at Celtic before us, and then we sort of helped by playing in the Premier League and by being with us. We took him to another level.
Is he a Pochettino? Did Pochettino get him or not?
I don't think
when Pochettino was with Southampton.
I think it was Ronald Koeman. I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. Right. It was around that era, but yeah.
Right.
We got a few good seasons out of him. It was a shame the way he left. He sort of went on strike and refused to play for a bit.
Hey man, when you're a winner, and you're like, I want to win some shit.
Yeah.
You just got to do it. Like Kobe did that, and people admire him for it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, but they don't boo him when he goes back to Southampton, right?
Yeah.
They do. All right. Yeah. All right. That makes sense.
Football fans are bitter.
Yeah. They are. I mean, I understand them being bitter about that, but there's some things that they're bitter about. I'm like, come on, let that go.
We got some players that move to other clubs, like Sadio Mane. He doesn't get any booing when he comes to us because he left in the right way. He did it at the end of the season. There wasn't any sort of animosity.
Liverpool just bought him.
Yeah,
in the spring, in the summertime.
Because like Liverpool, I think they got done for like they actually approached Van Dijk illegally, and then he went on strike and refused to play. And it's like, come on, we're still paying you at the end of the day. Be an adult.
When I think of Van Dijk, I think of Nathan Ake.
Yeah. And
people are thinking, because Van Dijk like raised his game to another level with Liverpool, like they're looking for the new Van Dijk.
Yeah.
And they're looking at Nathan Ake, and I'm like, if any team thinks Nathan Ake is a new Van Dijk, go ahead and spend the money.
He's good. I like him, but he's not at the same.
No.
He's not the same level. But I think he's attractive to a lot of clubs as well because he's left-footed. Nathan Ake, which means it gives you a different balance playing out from the back if you've got a left-footed, left-sided centre half.
Right.
And that's why City bought Laporte as well.
Right.
Because he's left-footed and they've missed that.
But you could see videos of Laporte like passing the ball, like when Man City,
he can ping like a 60-yard crossfield ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Like pinpoint accuracy.
I was like, when they first got him, I was like, let me see who this guy is. And then I just saw this guy. I'm like, oh shit! like just ball after ball, just dead on. Like
he's like a quarterback.
Yeah, it's Glenn Huddle playing defense. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. So I don't believe that, but I guess so. Now, if you had to guess, who are the teams that's going to finish in the Europe spots? Who would you think?
I think the top three is set. I think the top three will finish as they are.
All right.
In that order.
So you don't think Chelsea is going to catch Leicester?
No.
I kind of am with you on that.
Yes, I mean there's 13 games left. It's 8 points, but I think Leicester will have enough to get the results they need to finish third.
Right.
And I think City, they're not catching Liverpool, but I think they'll have too much quality. They'll stay ahead of Leicester. And then that fourth spot, I mean, I think Chelsea will
hang on to that.
Will hang on to it. I mean, I'd love to see Sheffield United get it just for the entertainment of it.
Right.
But I don't think they'll make it. I think Spurs could even catch Sheffield United, but
Spurs could catch up with Sheffield.
Yeah, and get that fifth spot. But
you said United. There's only one United, bro. You have to say, if you're gonna say,
I say Sheffield United.
Sheffield, you have to say the whole thing. There's only one United.
Not anymore.
Nah, we
used to be.
We still are. Like, I see what we're doing.
When Leeds come up next season, there'll be another one as well.
Yeah. That's what they were saying on the Sunday supplement. Like, like Leeds is a big team, and the only people that probably don't want to see Leeds in the Premiership is Man United fans.
Yeah, it's an old rivalry, that one.
Right.
That'll be interesting if they come back up. But no, I think I'd love to see Sheffield United finish in that spot.
Right.
I think they could. It's hard to pick out of them and Tottenham, because Tottenham seem to lack some consistency at the moment.
What do you think is wrong with Tottenham?
I mean, they've got a squad of Pochettino players being managed by Mourinho, who's very different in terms of his approach.
And what's the difference in their approach?
Just he's not as open in terms of the way they play. He's a bit more pragmatic, a bit more defensive than Pochettino was.
Well, also, but Pochettino's defense also was getting older, and he probably needed to be replaced anyway.
Yeah.
So if Mourinho could just get defenders, he could use the rest of what's left of Poch's players to get to make this thing into what he wants it to be.
Yeah, and they've looked good in some games,
Yeah.
but then others they've been poor. So they're a bit up and down as well, trying to find some consistency. But yeah, I think Wolves have tailed off a little bit. Their results have been a bit more inconsistent, so I'm not sure they'll push for it now.
Right. What about Everton with Ancelotti? And they won this weekend.
Yeah.
And like the Ancelotti, like the thing I was worried about this, I'm a Ancelotti fan, so I was like, this is below your stature.
Yeah.
For not even for lack of a better word. I'm not even trying to find a better way to say it. That's just how I feel about him. And I was like, but I feel like now this might be a perfect fit for him. Like if he's the guy that they were saying he was at Bayern, where they were kind of saying that he was lazy.
Yeah, or they weren't being worked hard enough in training. Yeah,
and the players were saying that. And normally, people say a lot of shit about players, which I don't agree with. And the Bayern players wanting their coach fired because he doesn't work them hard enough. It speaks volumes about how wrong, the press views players. You know what I mean? But I just feel like after Napoli, like if he gets Everton into the Champions League spots, which is going to be tough, but it's possible.
I don't think they will this season. They could push for it if they build. But I think he'll get Europa League with them.
Yeah. Which means you're leaving. So you don't think Man U is going to get in a Europa League spot?
They're in the mix. Depends who wins the cups as well, because if teams who are already in Europe win the cups, then more spaces come down the league.
Right.
So I think Man City are in the Carabao Cup final. If they win that, I mean, they're probably going to get Champions. Well, they're definitely going to get Champions League. So another Europa League place will come down in the league.
Okay, so
I think that's how it works.
Oh, okay. So if Man City wins Carabao Cup, when they finish in the Champions League spot, what happens?
It bumps another Europa League spot into the league.
Because to replace the Carabao, the spot that would have been given to the team that won the Carabao Cup. Right.
It works differently with the FA Cup. If in the FA Cup, say the FA Cup final was Man City versus Bournemouth, I don't know, it won't be, but if Man City won, Bournemouth would go into the Europa League because they were the losing finalists. It's different in the FA Cup.
Say that again. You lost
So
me.
in the FA Cup final, if the team who wins the FA Cup is already in a European spot,
Right.
the losing finalist gets it.
Oh.
So
Oh,
it's different in that one than it is in the League Cup.
So Villa is in the Carabao Cup final or FA Cup final? Carabao
Cup, yeah, because that's on the 1st of March. So
Right,
it
right.
happens
So
early.
that's
It happens early in the FA Cup final, yeah.
All right. So they wouldn't get the...
I don't think so.
So that's not... Yeah, that's a different... But if they were in the FA Cup final, they have a chance of getting relegated and being in the...
Yeah.
Okay.
It's happened to a couple of teams, although... I mean, Wigan won the FA Cup and got relegated in the same season, so they were playing in the Europa League the next year.
So crazy.
As a championship team.
Yeah, I remember that.
There was a final. Man United beat Millwall in an FA Cup final once. And Millwall were a championship team at the time, and they were in the Europa League next year as a championship team as well.
And that's when Millwall had Cahill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he got picked up by Everton or one of those teams and played for a while. He's Australian.
Yeah, he spent a lot of seasons at Everton. He was a club legend there. Really.
Yeah, he'd find the goal.
Yeah, he was a threat on set pieces. He wasn't that tall, but he had a good jump. He scored a lot of headers.
He knew when to jump. Yeah. Knowing when to jump, not panicking, getting yourself free. Yeah. So give me your top 6.
So like I say, top 3.
Liverpool, Man City, Leicester.
Yeah. I think top 4 will stay as it is, actually. I think Chelsea will hold on, just.
Right.
I'm going to say Tottenham above Sheffield United.
You're a traditionalist.
Yeah. I'd like to see Sheffield United finish 5th. I prefer it that way around, but I think Spurs will just get there. I think it depends on Kane's back as well, though.
Yeah.
If they don't get him back before the end of the season, if he only comes
How long is
in
his
for
injury supposed to be for?
It's a bit up in the air. They're saying he will be back for the last few games, but they haven't put a number on it.
Well, they're going to try to bring him back as soon as with this threat looming of them not being able to almost make it. And I
think him as an individual will probably want to be cautious though, because he wants to play in the Euros for England.
Kane is about profile.
Yeah.
I could tell when he wanted that goal that wasn't his. I was like, oh, this guy kind of feels like there's an iron team. You know what I mean?
Thing is, you kind of need that mentality when you're a number 9. When you're a centre forward, you want your centre forward to be greedy and to be ruthless.
Yeah, he acts like he was if he was a member of the royal family, he would never leave the royal family for his wife. You know what I mean? Like he's about.
Yeah, he wouldn't Prince Harry that.
Yeah, he wouldn't Prince Harry that shit at all. No, he's
King
like,
Harry.
I'm like, I belong here. I'll try to kill the queen.
Yeah,
to become the goddamn king.
Some Game of Thrones stuff.
Yeah, he's definitely not fucking around when it comes to like how he wants to be seen. You can tell by the way he talks, his hair, just his whole things. Yeah. He's trying to be football royalty.
Yeah, I think it'll finish like that. I think Spurs will pinch it and Sheffield United will come 6th.
And Man U and Everton would be below them.
Yeah.
Like the way they are now with Wolves. Yeah, let me see who else is close. And Arsenal, we haven't even discussed Arsenal. Arsenal's like...
we haven't talked about the little teams yet.
That's a damn... Wow. How dare you, Southampton.
They're at our level now.
Yeah, you are.
I can talk that shit about them now.
You both have 31 points.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. Goddamn crazy.
Yeah, I'm enjoying Arsenal being average.
You are. What do you? Let's go to Man U for a second. What do you think about our Igalo? Is it Igalo loan?
I think it was a little bit desperate, but you didn't really have any other options at that point. I mean, you looked at some other players, and then you took the bargain bin option. You went to the dollar store and got a loan.
Sometimes you can find some good shit in the dollar store.
That's it. You went rummaging through those racks and you found him.
Well, listen. So we got him.
Yeah.
Our team went to Dubai.
Spain, I think. Yeah, it went to Marbella, I think, maybe, or somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take your word for it. Our team went there to train, but they couldn't bring the guy they just bought to go with them who needs to be at the training camp the most, because they bought him from got him on loan from China.
Yeah.
And China has the Caronavirus thing going on there. Coronavirus, sorry.
Cannavaro coaches in China.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
That defender?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Italian defender?
Yeah, his team won the league 1 year.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you know what? I think I did hear that. Yeah. Yeah. The FIFA Player of the World. Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now he's stuck in England because they don't want to take the chance of bringing him out.
Yeah, so he's training with the reserves.
So he's training
up
reserve
in Manchester. I think it's if he goes out there, the UK customs might not let him back in. They might quarantine him,
right?
Because he's been to China in the last couple of weeks. But he's fine staying there and just.
I saw some of the drills that he's doing, like hold up ball drills, but I just think, listen, this might be the greatest loan ever. Yeah. Because he just came from China, and if other defenders are worried about contracting the coronavirus, they might not mark him, and he might have the best season ever, and everybody thinks this guy's an amazing player.
He's gonna have 5 yards of space.
Yeah,
People just be like,
right.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, man. We're not marketing. You gotta pay me extra. I want to see somebody guarding him with a mask on.
Yeah, I was about to say, you see centre backs coming out with the surgical masks on and stuff. Or if they're like a hypochondriac, you'll see them coming out in like a full hazmat club hazmat suit.
Yeah. Chelsea will be wearing their hazmat kit, their home hazmat kit this weekend. Yeah.
Oh, if I was him, like I'd start coughing. Just really getting people's heads.
Yeah, that's spitting. I'd spit every time I'm in the goal area. I'll just spit on the ground. Yeah. So the keeper's afraid to dive, like when later on. Yeah. Yeah.
This is, I mean, people give Ed Woodward a lot of criticism, but this could be his. Yeah. This could be his masterstroke.
No, I don't think people have been thinking this all the way through. This could be the greatest thing that happened to Man U. The York and Cole all in one. Yeah. Speaking of, so you don't think? I just think Man U is in a man. I want Solskjaer to get another year. Maybe I'm a sadist, or maybe I'm just a romantic. You know what I mean? But because I've seen what he's trying to do, I want to see what else. Yeah. If he got to another year to go forward with his plan, to see where it would go. But based on what you just said about where you think everybody's going to finish, it is going to be tough. With Everton, with one of the best coaches that ever coached top league football around the world, to be their coach and them to get it together. Like I watched their game. Who did Everton play?
Crystal Palace.
Yeah. And it was just Crystal Palace, but Crystal Palace ain't easy to always get beat. We have trouble with them. They give teams trouble.
The scoreline was a bit misleading as well, because they didn't score their third goal until late on. Right. And Palace were in the game. They had chances.
Yeah, they were in the game, but that's football. Yeah. But
the first goal was really nice though for Everton. Don't know if you saw that one where Walcott beat a couple of people.
Oh, the cross.
Back post, first time finish.
Just all the combos of the players on the right-hand side of the field. Yeah. And then him taking it, boom, and then boom, over. And then I think it went over Lewin's head and Bernardo.
First time finish, just controlled it. Yeah. It was a nice goal.
Yeah.
And then one thing I want to mention actually
as well went out the game right after.
Yeah. He's done his job. He's gone. Yeah. One thing I did want to mention though was Palace's goal. Jordan Pickford had a nightmare on that one.
Oh, Benteke.
Benteke hasn't scored for like 38 games. And
thank God that Jordan Henderson, what's his name? Pickford had a howler so that Benteke could finally score a Premiership goal. I mean, you should send Pickford cards, Benteke. Yeah.
But I mean, he made a couple of good saves later on after that, Pickford. But I don't rate him as like England's number one.
You think Henderson would take his job?
I think so. For me, Henderson is the best English keeper in the league this year.
Right.
And I like Pope at Burnley as well more than I do Pickford.
You think Henderson would ever get into the Man U squad?
If De Gea goes, I think you'd put him in.
But I still like, what's his name, our backup keeper?
Romero's
done no wrong.
Yeah.
So you think Henderson's better than Romero?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's more solid overall.
I mean, he has more of a up because he's young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just playing consistently. I mean, it's a smart move for you guys to... Because he was on loan at Sheffield United last year in their promotion season. Then it was touch and go as to whether or not he would go back this year. But I think it's a smart move to send him back there and let him get a season of Premier League football. I'd keep him there next season if I were you.
Yeah, for sure. Just keep him there as long as we have to.
Yeah.
Until,
But he looks the real deal. He's a very good keeper.
Yeah.
And like I say, most clean sheets other than Man City this season is Sheffield United, and he's been a big part of that.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
He made a good save from Fraser in the Bournemouth game as well, actually.
It's good to know that we got great players not playing for us. You know, it's very comforting. You know what I'm saying? And well, speaking of which, like players not playing for us, like some of these players don't belong to us, and some of them do. But we were just talking about Inter and how, you know, they're at the top of the league in Italy with a bunch of Man U rejects. Like how? So is it bad coaching? And some of this bad coaching, if it is, you can't blame on Solskjaer because Solskjaer was not there when Sanchez was stinking up the joint and didn't look like he belonged there. And Solskjaer, you know, like Lukaku was, like I always say this about Lukaku, I never regret selling Lukaku. Yeah. You know, because he didn't do that shit when he was with us and he wasn't going to do it. You know what I mean? Like he needed to have to prove a point to do what he's going to do, to do what he's doing.
Environment and
he needed to be rejected to be like, I had to get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't like when he's at Man U, he's like, I'm at Man U, you know, I'm just partying and shit, and just he just wasn't as focused as he probably is now. But I don't know how the fuck Ashley Young is starting and doing a good job at, and I like Ashley Young. I just think but I've seen he's beating people.
Yeah. The game's slower in Italy, though.
So people say that, but I don't always. There's so many cliche things that people say that I'm like, well, if it's slow, like
it's not slow as in the players aren't physically slow, but the pace of the game is a lot more tactical, and teams will the tempo of the game is slower. It's almost like it's chess out there. Tactically. It's very...
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It can be, yeah. Not every team. There are teams who are different. Right. But also, Young's playing in a different system out there. He's playing in Conte's sort of... They play with a back three.
Is he Moses?
A box midfield, and he's on the right.
He's Moses
like
on...
a right wing back, yeah.
I think he was on the left when I saw him.
Okay, he might be on... Yeah. He might be... But he'll be one of the wing backs in that Conte system that he used to use at Chelsea.
Sanchez played this week.
Yeah.
And he had did he have an assist? I think he had an assist. Or he was the pass before the assist. You know what I mean? So Sanchez is playing, Lukaku's playing, Ashley Young, what's his name? Is at Roma.
Smalling.
Yeah. Starting at Roma.
But playing well as well.
Yeah, but I always thought Smalling was a good defender.
He is.
He used to get a lot of shit. But like if you're standing next to Jones and you're covering for Jones, you look shitty.
Yeah, you should have sent Jones to Roma. Also, anyway.
Roma's not that stupid.
Should have sent Jones to China.
Yeah, I liked Smalling because the things that Maguire got praised for in the Wolves game, Smalling did that all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that game, but he was just... The Wolves are passing the ball to their forwards, and Maguire would just get in front of their pass, and
he was intercepting.
And Smalling did that all the time, and people just shit on him. And I'm like, didn't you just see that? Yeah. That's a fucked up position for him to be in.
Where's Eric Bailly now? Is he injured again?
Yeah, he's recovering.
It's a shame. I like him. He's good when he's fit.
He's a skillful guy.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. He's a skillful guy, right? Like when he's healthy, I feel like we need skill on the field. And I said this before. It's like when you have skill, it doesn't matter where. Like in America, like they'll draft a quarterback from college, right? And that person will be like a Heisman Trophy winner, which means the best player in college. and they'll turn that motherfucker into a wide receiver, a tight end, special teams. They'll be like, we already have a quarterback, so this guy who just won for best college quarterback, but we'll turn him into something. But we need his talent on the field because he has skill. And I feel like that's what Solskjaer is not doing enough. Like if you have Eric Bailly and you're looking for like a box-to-box midfielder or a holding midfielder, like put him there.
Yeah.
Like let him play, because I feel like he's a liability as a complete like central midfielder, any central back, central defender anyway, because he wants to be seen. He wants to like show up his skill.
Yeah, he's a risk taker.
He's a risk taker.
Yeah.
So I'd put that in front of the defense anyway. And then he'll get some playing time and he'll learn some things and he can make his mistakes and hopefully guys can cover for him and then he'll figure it out. So
but he might be a good centre-back for those games when you're struggling to break someone down because you don't necessarily need defenders that are great defenders for those games. You need defenders who are good on the ball and can get the ball into midfield.
Right.
So when he's fit, he might be a good option against those teams that you struggle to break down. The
or sometimes
teams.
So that you don't run Matic down, because Matic is only good when he's fresh.
Yeah.
Like if he's played 3-4 games in a row, you're going to get a different Matic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let him play. Let's just get him in there. And the same thing with Tuan Zabi. It's like, let's not stop doing this like for like shit, and let's be creative.
Yeah.
And get like Tuan Zabi is very calm, you know, and he has skill, and I feel like he believes in himself. So it's like you need people who believe in the players that believe in themselves on the field in some capacity, and you got to mix this shit up. So that's what I think is one of the issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only with shit like this is the only way we're gonna get to where we're going, where we need to go. All right. Let's talk about games. So we only have 3 games.
Yep.
There's 8 next week, and then the Man City game got stormed out. All right.
Yeah.
So. And they still didn't say when that game is going to be played.
Yeah. Well, there's 6 games next week.
6?
Yeah, because there was 3. It's 20 teams, so it's 3 games played this week, 6 next week, and then the Man City one got taken off.
And it's fucked up for the Man City game because it's supposed to be your week off.
Yeah.
But, well, it's supposed to be you got to play that game later, and you almost playing a game, and it getting called off because of the rain. It's like, listen, you took the Viagra. Like your dick is still gonna get hard for 4 hours without you being able to use it. You know what I mean? So it's like you still burnt that energy of having sex without having sex. So it's
they
like
still did all the prep.
Yeah, you still did all the prep, and you got to the end, and then
they lit the candles.
They lit the candles. You know what I'm saying? You made the mixtape. You know what I'm saying? you know what I'm saying? You cooked. It's not, and the girl didn't show up. You know what I mean? You went through you that day is all the time to prepare for the date. Yeah, went into the date. You know what I'm saying? So and you got to do it again. Yeah. So then you actually lose the week off because you have to do this thing twice. Yeah. Yeah.
They've not rescheduled it yet. I don't know when it'll be, but
yeah, whenever it is, it's just you're gonna have to date again. Yeah.
There's some interesting games though in that next 6 next 6 games.
What are you saying?
Wolves Leicester will be good. I think.
Because those are Europe spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chelsea United. Yeah. I mean those are the 2 games that stand out for me. Liverpool I think will steamroll Norwich. Us v Burnley doesn't mean a great deal. It'd be a good game, I think, but it doesn't mean much.
You know, it's a good game on the low.
Villa Spurs.
Arsenal, Newcastle, because they have the same amount of points.
Yeah, true.
So that's like, you'd never say that in any other season, but that's Arsenal. They're not. Newcastle's not underdogs.
Thing is, that's the sort of game
if you can count.
Yeah.
That's
the sort of game where Arteta needs to be winning that. Otherwise, they're the sort of games he needs to be winning if he wants to prove himself as, the best choice for Arsenal kind of thing.
But he's also in the same position Pep was in his first season at Man City, where he would just lose games or draw, and he couldn't figure it out. He just doesn't have his personnel there. So I'm sure Arteta wants to get his. They'll give Arteta. The Arsenal fans, they gave Emery a chance.
Yeah.
So they'll give Arteta a chance, but Arsenal just can't go out there buying like more offensive players.
Yeah.
Or buying cheap defenders from leagues that because this guy was good in this Belgium league fifth. Yeah. Can't do that.
But yeah, good set of fixtures.
Who do you think has got the Chelsea Man U game? And where are they playing that game?
Is that Chelsea?
Yeah, see, I don't trust us.
It's a tough one.
We got Bruno Fernandes now. We claim we're going to get Pogba back after the break.
Yeah.
Listen, I still like Pogba, but he's doing something really fucked up right now.
Yeah.
But if you want to leave Man U with good graces, come back and finish the season with us.
Yeah, play well.
Give us your all. Play well. Get us into Europe. Maybe help us win Europa League.
Yeah.
And then we'll call it even Steven.
Yeah.
And then, you just, I don't care how big you get. You don't want to leave a big club like that like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, I'm not saying no one will buy him, but he might be putting some clubs off with the way he's behaving.
Yeah, because it's not cool.
No.
It's not cool.
Not professional.
It's very unprofessional. But listen, I feel like there was a bigger rift between Neymar and PSG.
Yeah.
And Neymar's back there now.
Yeah.
So, listen, if nobody buys this guy, everybody spent their money, it feels like.
Yeah.
Even for next year, it feels like Real Madrid just dropped so much money on Hazard.
Yeah.
And Barcelona dropped so much money on Pogba's homeboy from France. And that shit ain't working out.
Yeah.
And then there's Dembele over there. And so it's like, they ain't got, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How much more money?
Real Madrid will find the money. They always do. They'll look down the back of the couch and pull out 150 million or something.
Yeah. But then they'll just have too much. Like, there's players now that what's the coach? The Zidane is pulling players out of the couch now. They got Valverde. They got the young black kid Vinicius.
Oh, Vinicius, yeah.
Vinicius,
Brazilian, yeah.
And he's just like. And then I was watching the derby against Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
And he's finding some combinations and players that I never seen before. And then sometimes he'll use Isco, and then sometimes you get pissed at Isco and yank him. I think Isco is really dope. So I don't know. Zidane is very resourceful, and he's not afraid to find something. And there was no Hazard in sight.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot they bought Hazard. He hasn't been there for most of the season. So, and they've spent money, and they have the other guy that they bought that they don't use. It's kind of like a European name,
Oh, another one you mean? Yeah, he's like Serbian.
Serbian, yeah.
Something.
Yeah, Serbian-ish name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
But you're not confident against Chelsea?
No, why would I be?
Chelsea are inconsistent though. You could get something. I'd put them as favourites, but
yeah, that's not, and rightfully so. Like, I have no right to be out of my mind to be confident that Man United would beat Chelsea 3. Yeah, it'd be amazing, but yeah, I mean, we've won the games that we were most likely to lose.
Yeah.
And that's the only solace. You know what I mean? Like, Solskjaer could get fired this game. Those games he wins.
Yeah.
He's truly a pressure coach as much as he was a pressure player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you look at the PSG game last season.
PSG, Man City, Liverpool, tied with Liverpool, beat Man City. We beat Man City twice this season. Like, we lost aggregately in the FA. Was it FA Cup or
League Cup?
League Cup, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that was League Cup. But we beat them this season in the Premier League. So a game I didn't think we were gonna win. So, yeah. So we've done. He's pulled off some things. Speaking of coronavirus, here goes this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So,
Someone's in trouble.
Someone's in trouble, or maybe charge over coronavirus video.
I like how it says like FA writes to Ali asking for his observations. It's like, well, you saw his observations.
Yeah, his observations is so it's Dele Ali apologizing for a video posted on his Snapchat account, and he zooms in on an Asian dude right there, and then cuts over to hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
And says, you got to be quicker than me, quicker than that. Coronavirus has to be quicker than that for me to catch it.
Yeah.
Coronavirus has to be quicker than me. I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, he's had to put like an apology video up in Chinese as well.
Oh, right.
There's like Chinese subtitles on it.
I see the subtitles, yeah. But yeah, man.
To be honest, I think the people of China have got bigger worries than worrying about
Dele
Ali's video. They've got bigger shit going on right now.
You're right about that. It's called a coronavirus. And that's the bigger issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just I don't know. It's crazy. Like you figure like something like this is outside of football, but it's definitely gonna affect football.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like we was just joking around with Igalo and just even with summer tours, like some of I know we go to Japan.
Yeah.
And some of these Asian countries, like with summer tours, there's big money in it.
Yeah, a lot of clubs do go to China though, and Hong Kong and places like that.
Yeah, so those things are gonna be like dead until this thing
means you'll get them all coming over here more instead.
And then are we gonna let them in?
Yeah.
You mean you're gonna have the the European clubs come in here?
Yeah, even more than because some already do, don't they?
Right,
like Liverpool, I think, have been here a few times now.
Right.
Man United and Real Madrid come over as well.
Right. But yeah, hopefully they can figure out this coronavirus thing. Yeah. But there's that, and
we'll see if he gets a fine or anything for it.
And then there's this Jack Grealish thing to Man United. And I don't like these things because they're always like linking players.
Yeah. In
the middle of the season. They've got things about Pochettino is waiting to become the next Man United coach. They got players that, and it's like this. The last thing I saw is like $150, 150 mil for Grealish. And that'll make Villa sell him.
Yeah.
Whether they go down or not. Because they'll just take the money.
Yeah. I mean, I like him. I think he's fantastic, but I'm not sure he's worth quite that much. It seems like English players sometimes get, especially good young English players, their prices get inflated.
Nah, he's really good. I think he's worth 150 million more than Maguire's worth 80 mil. Yeah. And I told you this earlier. I just listen, man.
He's a game changer though. He can win games.
Yes. And what's funny about him? It's like, so we want two players. We get constantly linked with two English players. One from Leicester City, and what's his name? Maddison, and Grealish. Now, if we got Maddison and Grealish, we'd have two Beckham lookalikes playing in our midfield where Beckham would. Like, don't they both, like, let me zoom in on Grealish. If this is a good Grealish, this is a good Grealish Beckham photo.
Yeah.
Isn't that David Beckham in Villa clothes, kind of? This one? Or this one?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
No, he's definitely going for that look.
Yeah, he's going for that look. And let me see.
He needs to get some tattoos, though.
Yeah, he'll get that. And his arms will shrink to alligator size. Let me go to images. Oh, he brought up one of the founding.
Yeah, I think it's double D's in it.
Okay. Look at that.
Different era Beckham to.
Yeah, he has the chops. Oh, what the fuck, man! Yeah, there it goes. We have two Beckhams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
I prefer the Villa's Beckham though.
Yeah, they're both good. I think Grealish is slightly better as well.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see where they fit in with Fernandes as well, though, if you do sign one of those two. Does Fernandes then move out wide, or do one of them play out wide, or do you play them both in the middle with one defensive midfielder behind?
Fernandes is supposed to be box to box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
you can
so
play
right now,
a deep playmaker as well.
We're in need of a creative player, so they put him in front of the two. But if Grealish came, then you could put him. Not that I know much about tactics, you could just take Matic out.
Yeah, put McTominay and Fernandes as the deeper midfielders, maybe.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. All right.
Interesting times.
Yeah. So anything else you want to plug?
No, I'm all good. I'm just at Lee Hudson Comedy on Instagram
and Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And you've been you didn't fuck around when you came. You were doing mics. You came from England when? What day?
Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to you one day, and you was like, "Yeah, I'm at a 1 p.m. mic or 11 a.m. mic."
Yeah, I went to some 11 a.m. mics. In Hollywood.
I didn't even know they had those. That's crazy. Was anybody there audience-wise?
No.
It's just comics?
Yeah, it's just a chance to work out some material.
You ever heard of a mirror? You could do that in a mirror.
There's some people there. It's fun. Get out and about. Been sitting in some cafes doing some writing. It's nice.
And you like meeting the other comics and performing in front of them in school.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good fun.
That's that good Spanish attitude.
Yeah. Had some fun shows as well. The one up in San Francisco on Saturday was good. Mm-hmm. That was really fun. Sold out crowd.
Dope.
It was nice.
That's good shit. And what was the name of that room?
The Setup.
The Setup in San Francisco.
I don't know if they named it ironically because there's the Punchline in San Fran.
Oh.
So they're the Setup.
I guess the Setup. Yeah, Setup is a good name. Yeah, Setup Punch. Yeah.
But no, it was lovely. Like I say, it's in a little basement, brick walls. Mm-hmm. Kind of feels like a New York club rather than San Fran. It's like a little sort of basement. Yeah,
I like the look of it. The pictures you showed me.
Yeah. No, it was really good though. Really sort of comedy savvy audience as well.
Oh, dope.
And all the other comics on it were good too. It was fun.
Oh, that's dope. I'm just trying to pull up my website so I don't fuck my dates up when I have to plug my shit. All right, everybody. So, you know what it is. I'm on Instagram at Ian Edwards Comic. I'm going to go to my more shows thing here. So this weekend, I'm at the DC Improv from the 13th to the 16th. It's going to be Valentine's Day. And on one of these days, I don't know, I'm single. And I avoid those type of things. But come through, let's have some fun on this weekend. And it's also going to be President's Day on Monday, so you can come to the Sunday show and it'll be at the DC Improv. Get your tickets, click that red button, boom, and you're in. And then if you can't make that and you're in Springfield, Missouri, I'll be at the Blue Room on the 21st, 22nd. It's 3 shows, 1 Friday, 2 Saturdays. So come fuck with me at the Blue Room in Missouri. That's a nice, cozy spot that you just described. So yeah, let's come through and just all huddle together, laugh and warm up. And then Side Splitters in Tampa. I'll be there on March 12th to the 15th. So come through there. Me and Paul Eli will be at all of these dates, except the Side Splitters one. But come through and check me out there. And boom, I'll be in Alberta, Canada, in the freezing at the Laugh Stop. So come there. And I'll also be at the Melbourne Comedy Festival. And I'll also be at the Sydney Comedy Festival. And I'll also be at the Moon Tower Festival in Austin, Texas. And the Garrison also back in Toronto, Canada. And do I have rumors? So I'm just going to live in Canada this year. I got rumors coming up in June, but it'll be warm. And La Jolla.
Nice.
In June.
You're racking up some air miles.
Yeah. It's crazy. So I'll be doing that. And follow me on Instagram at Ian Edwards Comic, Twitter at Ian Edwards Comic. Check out my special streaming on ComedyCentral.com called Ian Talk, produced by Bill Burr. And Aaron, thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Anything you want to plug?
If you want some non-soccer related tweets.
Yeah.
It's at Hilarious And then I'm Aaron Brungardt on Instagram.
Boom. All right. Thank y'all. And I hope you enjoyed your abbreviated Premier League weekend with 3 games instead of 4. You know what I'm saying?
Rationing it out.
But I think it's a great way to give a break.
Yeah.
I think they should do that 4 weeks in a row so that teams could get 2 weeks of a break and there still be games.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to do it.
Could work.
Yeah. It could work. And then don't slip no fucking FA Cup playoffs. And one thing, what did you think about Klopp not playing his team?
I think it was a little bit disrespectful, but I mean, they won, so you can't argue.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue if they lost.
Yeah.
Like,
he's got bigger priorities.
His priority is to win the league.
Yeah.
And you got to focus on winning. If you don't win the league and you win the FA Cup and you're Liverpool, it feels like you lost all season.
Yeah.
It feels like you lost the Champions League if you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Hey, man, they gave him the break. It's not being honored. Go out there, youth. Go do your thing. And if you win by own goal, fine. We'll take it. Thank you, Shrewsbury. Yeah. All right. That's it. We out.
Cool.
1.